with you. So I want you to drop a one in the chat if you're like, I want to know how to enroll distributors. Like you want all the distributors, you want all the new blood. We have some of the best leaders that are going to be bringing you the best tips with to you to help you start enrolling those distributors. Guys, if you know me or know anything about the way that I train my team, anytime my girls come to me with any kind of questions, or they're struggling with something, or they don't know how to do something, or they want a higher paycheck, or they want a team that's working with them, or they want to promote, my answer is always new blood. Because when you get new distributors on your team, it truly transforms everything for you. And so we're going to be sharing all of the tips with you tonight. So make sure that you have something to write with. You've got a pen and paper, and also making sure that you are unplugged. You're paying attention to the Zoom. You're not distracted by anything, because if you're on your phone, it's going to go in one ear, not the other, and you're not going to remember anything that was said tonight. And so we want to make sure that you're staying super plugged into this and respecting the time of the girls, that they're taking time out of their night to train you. But without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Cheyenne Knox. I'm 22 years old, and I'm an Ambassador Diamond. I've been in the business for 4.5 years. I actually joined the business as a broke high school student, just looking to make a couple extra $100 a month. I had zero intentions of this business actually bringing an extra income into my life that was substantial enough to even, pay my bills with it. I just wanted that couple $100 to be able to pay for gas and groceries when I went off to college. And within my first month of being in the business, I promoted to Ruby, which is the very first promotion. And I truly saw what I had my hands on. I saw that for the work that I was doing, I was getting compensated for it. So imagine if I kept going and kept building the business and kept working, what more income I could make if I just kept doing that. And so within 5 months of me being in the business, I was making a full-time income with It Works. I went off to college. I actually was going to major in nursing, and I ended up dropping out of college and pursuing this business full time. And for over 3.5 years, I've been doing this business 110%, all from my phone, from home. I haven't clocked into a job in 3.5 years. I've been doing this full time, and there's a lot of material things that this business has done for me. I've been able to purchase a home, pay cash for my car in the driveway. I just purchased land. I've been able to do things I never thought I'd be able to do at 22. But all that stuff aside, the person I've become, the confidence that I've gained, the friendships that I've had, just the freedom to be able to be my own boss and not have to ask off, not have to clock in, not have to take off time. And if I want to go, spend time with family or go on a trip, I just get to live life on my own terms. And there's nothing better than that. Truly, it's a priceless thing that I got from this business that was not even something that I expected. And so I'm just going to kick this off with you of all of my best tips on how to enroll distributors. So when I first started in this business, I was not a mass distributor enroller. I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know that you could mass enroll. All I knew was that I was talking to people, I was reaching out to people, and I probably enrolled, 1 to 2 distributors a month at that. I actually made a team page post in my team the other day talking about, I kind of mapped out every single month for my first year in the business of how many distributors I enrolled. And I enrolled 19 distributors in my first full year with It Works, which if you look at that, it's really not a lot. It kind of broke down to where there were some months that I got 4 or 5, and then 6 months out of the year, I got 0, okay? 0 distributors, because I didn't know how to mass enroll, and I didn't have the confidence behind it to be able to say, oh, I can get all these distributors. And so I'm gonna tell you, if I look back over the last 4.5 years, why did I enroll distributors? These are the number one things. Number one, I have always been confident and excited about what I was doing. Write that down. That's the most important thing about what you're doing, is if you're not confident and you're not excited about what you're sharing, people do not want to be a part of something that they don't know where that person's going. So if you are always out there sharing boldly what you're doing, you're excited, you're talking about this business. Example, right now, every single time I'm on a training, that training is on my story. I am talking about it. I've got some super cool song popping up on the background. I've got a boomerang. I'm excited about the training that I'm on. I'm just talking. I'm basically creating FOMO about the training that I'm on. And so people see how excited I am about the business. They see how excited I am about the trainings, and they want to be a part of what I'm doing. Why? Because I'm confident and I'm excited about what I have my hands on. Okay. How many of y'all have already received a message from somebody that says hey, what is it that you're posting about? Have any of y'all got a message like that? It's because you're excited and you're posting about it on your social media, and they have FOMO. Your goal every single day should be to create FOMO for the people on your social media, because they want to be a part of what you're a part of. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I am always sharing where I am going with the business. Where are you going? That's what I want you to write down. Are you going diamond? Are you earning a $5,000 bonus? Are you trying to be full time with this business? Are you trying to pay for gas and groceries? What are the things that you want to do with It Works? And I can tell you from the moment that I got started, I talked about going Ruby every single day. And then what did I do? I went Ruby. And then I talked about going diamond and making a full-time income with It Works and being able to make an extra income from this business that was full-time to where I could quit my job. What did I do? I talked about diamond every single day. And then what did I do? I went diamond. And so all these people could see, not only was I telling them where I was going, but I was showing up loudly, consistently, excitedly, and confidently every single day with this business, to where when I actually did start doing these things, people were like, oh, wait, wow, this is working for her. Like, she's actually doing these things. And so I was excited and I was sharing where I was going. I can tell you that anybody that's on my team right now knows what my goals are. They all know where I'm going. They know what promotion I'm promoting to. They know what the goals that I have, because I'm always sharing them, because people want to be a part of something. How many of you know, drop a one if you know what your upline is promoting to right now? Probably all of you know exactly what your upline is doing. They are going diamond, they're earning a bonus, maybe they're going ambassador, going for presidential, and you want to be a part of that promotion with them, right? You want to be able to cross the finish line with them. You want to be able to promote with them and be excited with them and be involved. It's the same thing with your potentials. They want to be a part of what you're doing. And so be excited, share where you're going. The third thing is you must be willing to share your story, the raw, the real, the vulnerable, because guys, social media is a highlight reel, and people you have to understand that everyone is a human being and they're all going through things in your life that you relate to with them. Whether it's they have to count up everything that goes in their cart before they check out, they have to put $10 in their gas tank because they can't afford to put anything else. They're putting gas and groceries on credit cards. They aren't able to buy diapers. Those are the reasons that people get started, because nobody joins this business to become a multimillionaire. Okay. They join this business to make just that couple $100s every month to be able to get by. And so something I can say, that when I got started, I was telling where I was going. I was saying what my life was like now. I hated my job. I hated waking up early. I was so busy and I was unable to be able to fully live my life because I was spending my time at work and school. And I talked about all of that stuff to where people were like, oh my gosh, me too. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Oh my gosh, I'm having to calculate everything that I put into my grocery cart in order to be able to afford the things that I'm checking out at the grocery store with. And so you just want to make sure that you're telling your story. How many of you feel like you don't have a story to tell? Okay. I felt the same way. And there's even some days that I feel that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I tell this story one more time, people are going to block me. But you never know that next person that's going to open up social media and see this post. And I always tell this story because it's so huge for me. I found Courtney. Well, I'm Cheyenne, by the way. It says Courtney on here, but I'm just doing her Zoom because it's Courtney's transfer day for IVF. So everybody keep her in your thoughts and prayers, because she's going through IVF. She's been going through a lot. And I'm just praying so big for her that this baby is a sticky baby and it sticks and she does get pregnant. So everybody keep Courtney in your thoughts. But I found her on the Discover page. I had never, ever in my life clicked that little magnifying glass. You know what I'm talking about on Instagram, where you click it, and we try to stay away from it because it's always just a bunch of beautiful bloggers in swimsuits. And I'm like, I'm going to stay off here because all these girls have it together and I don't. I never, ever, ever clicked on that until that day. Okay. It was December 21st, 2016. Scrolling through Instagram, clicked that Discover page, and I saw Courtney's long blonde hair in front of her Tahoe talking about how she paid cash for her car at 19. And I will never forget that day because I had never clicked on that Discover page before. And that one click of that button changed my entire life. Imagine if Courtney would not have posted that day. Imagine if she wouldn't have decided to share that story that day, because she didn't do it that day. She was resharing the story that she's told a million times, because when I joined her, she was like 22 or 23 years old. She had already been in the business for almost 4 years by the time I got started. And if she wouldn't have decided to share that story that day, I would not be here. Okay. And I hope that that was a wake up call for you, for those of you that are like, I don't know what to say. And I'm not going to post today because I don't have the perfect picture, or I'm not going to post today because I don't have a story to share. I've already shared this 100 times. She could have done the same thing and she wouldn't have an ambassador diamond on her team right now. And I would be living a horrible life because I don't know what I would do without It Works. And so I just wanted to share that insight with you and just make sure that, guys, if you're not posting, no one will join your team. And that goes for every single person on here. If you are not boldly sharing this business, and do not for a second say, well, I don't know how to post. Ask your upline, how do I post? What can I post today? Because you have to understand that I didn't join this business automatically successful. I didn't join this business automatically knowing how to post. I didn't know how to write captions. I didn't have a story. I joined exactly where you are. All of you on here, I have been at your position at some point in the business over the last 4.5 years. And the power in that is that I just kept going. I just kept learning. There were months and months and months after months that I didn't get distributors. But because I shared every single day, even when no one was liking my post, no one was commenting, no one was asking me about the business. Have I had dry spells? Yes. And everyone that you will hear from tonight has too, but it's because we kept sharing and we kept talking about the business and kept boldly talking about where we were going. Okay. And the last thing that I'll share with you is the reason that I do mass enroll today is an accumulation of the last 4.5 years of things that I've done, but also because I am doing all of the things. There's not one specific thing that I can say, if you do this, you will mass enroll. I am posting every day on my stories. I'm posting every day on Facebook and Instagram talking about the business. I'm going live. I'm doing TikToks. I'm doing reels. I'm making sure that I'm sharing other people's stories. I'm talking about these trainings that I'm on. Like, there isn't a thing I won't do. Okay. Some of you are on here and you're so hungry for success and you're so hungry for a different life that you are willing to do whatever it takes. That's the best position for you to be in. Because if you will do all of the things and figure it out, even though you don't know how to do it, there is so much power in that, because you're going to get a distributor from this, a distributor from that, a distributor from this, a distributor from that. And that's how you're going to build your team. And so the last thing and the most important thing that you can do, and if I could just drill this in your head 150 times for you to understand the importance of it, it is consistency. Anything that you do consistently, you will see results. If you post once a week, you will get once a week kind of results. If you post once every 2 weeks, you'll get once every 2 weeks kind of results. If you are bold and you share this in every way, every single day, and I don't care if you don't get results for 3 weeks, if you keep doing it, somebody's going to reach out to you because everyone is watching you. How long? Drop it in the chat. How long did you watch your upline from the moment that you saw it works to the moment that you got started? And I want you to look at all of these comments in the chat as a timeline of your business. And it will be so powerful for you to see that. So in one day, Kristen will join you. In a year, you'll enroll Adriana. In a week from now, you'll get Mariah. In 6 months from now, you'll get Stacy. In 6 months after that, you'll get Madison. In a year after that, you'll get Camry. You see what I'm doing there? Everybody is going to be watching you at a different time, and everyone is going to go through different things in their life before they get started with you. And so you have to make sure that you're being consistent enough to enroll these people. Guys, what if Courtney would have woke up that day and said, nope, I don't want to post today? She wouldn't have enrolled Courtney Labby, who went freaking presidential in like 2.2 seconds. And then Courtney Labby wouldn't have enrolled Kristen, who went triple diamond in 2.2 seconds. And now she's going for ambassador. Like, these people are huge people on her chart that what if she decided not to post that day? They wouldn't be there. What if that day last week you would have posted, that person would have joined you instead of me? It's all about you being bold enough to share this and doing it consistently enough to figure it out. And I know that some of you are on here and you're like, I don't have a story. I don't have content. I haven't promoted. We've all been in those positions, but it's because we're just excited, sharing other people's stories, sharing aspects of the business, because you have to understand that when a top leader like me or Courtney or Kristen or any of those people that have been in the business for a while, $20,000 a month is inspirational. $500 a month is life-changing. People don't look at people that are top income earners and say, oh my gosh, that's going to be me tomorrow. Like, I'm so excited for that. All they want is a fraction of that. When I messaged Courtney Bohr, I literally said, that's so great that you make that much money, but all I want is $500. It was so cool to me that she was making that much, but I didn't for a second think that that was going to be me. All I wanted was $500 a month. So all of you that are on here, you're in such a precious position because you're able to say, I am working towards making an extra $500 a month from my phone. You know what that says to other people? I want to do that too. I want to make $500 a month. So know the power in that. I hope that those tips helped you, and I'm super excited for you to hear from the rest of the girls. So Kristen, we're gonna go to you next. So go ahead and introduce yourself and pop right into your tips. Did it get the notification to unmute?
Okay. Hello, guys. I was like, am I muted or not? I don't know. So I'm really excited. I've been in this business for 6 years in April, which every time I say that, it's just insane to me that I've been doing this for so long. This has been my full-time income ever since I started as a broke stay-at-home mom. And honestly, I just needed, like, I saw Courtney post about a $1,000 Ruby bonus, and I was like, I need that in my life. Like, that is what I want. And so I instantly messaged her and got started as soon as possible. So I was one of those people who saw it and was like, I want to do this right now. I was so excited and I just jumped in. And what's crazy is I actually started posting for distributors my first day. So I jumped in the business and I ended up, going for that $1,000 Ruby bonus, earned it in 2 weeks, and then went Emerald my first 3 weeks, and then Diamond, double, and triple in my first 4 months. Every month I just hit that new rank, and then Presidential in 11 months. And then now I'm working towards ambassador and building my husband to triple diamond. So it's just been a exciting journey. This is my full-time income. I'm home with both of my kids, full-time, and we've been able to pay off debt and build our home. And my husband has been able to, quit his 9 to 5 that he was miserable at and start his own business. And I've been able to support him through that. So many things have happened because of this business, and I could go on and on and on about that. But honestly, you guys, I think that so many people get wrapped up in signing customers that they don't think about signing distributors. And so I'm going to kind of like share a couple like aha moments and journeys that I've been through to change that mind shift, to have that mental shift to like get to where you want to enroll distributors. Because if you want to promote, you have to have distributors on your team. You should never expect anyone else to put those under you. You should do them yourself. Plus fast starts. I mean, come on, fast starts. So speaking of fast starts, if you don't know what that is, when you sign a new distributor under you and you personally enroll them, when they get 6 customers, you get $150. So every 2 customers, you get $50 up to $150. It's amazing. I every single month make it a goal to pay something with my fast start. So usually it's my mortgage. Like I tell myself, okay, this month I'm going to pay my mortgage with my fast starts. So I know how many people I have to enroll to do that and what I got to do. So, that is one of the biggest things that I want to tell you guys is fast starts can pay your bills. Like fast start, you can be a brand new distributor and get fast start bonuses, which are paid weekly, and you can make as much as you want. If you go sign 10 distributors, you can make $1,500 this month if they all get their 6 customers. And that's amazing because you don't have to be a certain rank. You can literally just join and do that. So whenever I first started, I remember which posting, 6 years ago was so different on social media, but I would literally just be like, I have 2 spots left on my Ruby team or to fill my on my Ruby team, whatever. If you want to earn this bonus, join me. That was basically how I posted. But I say that to tell you guys to create a sense of urgency. I had nobody on my team. We needed 5 people at that time, and the charts were a little bit different. And I had nobody on my team, but I was telling everyone I had 2 spots left. And I signed 5 distributors in my first or second, I think it was my second day. I signed 5 distributors. So my Ruby chart was full. And I was like, yes, like I'm going Ruby. And then as soon as that chart was full, I got my Emerald chart and I was like, I need this many distributors to do this, So creating that sense of urgency is huge. I do a lot on my stories, and just going into, I try to be, this is me personally, because everyone's different and you're going to hear from different people. But me personally, I try to create stories that are easy to read, that are simple and duplicatable, and that people can relate to. Like sometimes, like the shortest stories that I'm like, okay, this is kind of a waste of time, but I'm going to post it anyways. Just like, hey, if you want to make money, DM me, whatever. It just short and simple to the point, or telling my story on my stories makes a big difference too. But getting that out there and just having people DM you, I usually do those late at night. But sorry, I saved real quick, like how to write a life post for you guys to write down, because I got this off of a Zoom a long time ago and I've been using it ever since. So it's, number 1 is life before it works. Okay. Where were you at before it works? I was a broke stay-at-home mom. That's my first liner of every single time I tell my story. Number 2, how did you find it works? And then number 3, why were you skeptical or what held you back? And then what life is like now. and then end with an invitation to reach out to you. So DM blah, blah, blah for information or whatever, or your text or whatever. Um, and if you're brand new and you're like, well, life is the same because I just started yesterday, talk about where you're going. Talk about, being compliant, but talk about where you're going and what you can do with this business because you joined, because you said yes, and just be excited. I feel like when I first started, my first month in the business, I signed 31 distributors. And the reason and how I did that was because I was excited. And I shared that excitement through my posts, and I went live on Facebook. We didn't have stories back then, but if I was new now, I'd be talking on my stories. People want to see that you're a real person. I know it's outside of your comfort zone for a lot of you, I'm sure, but just get on your story and talk about your business and talk about where you're going and talk about, the opportunity right now. They can join for $39 and that's going to be gone any day now. Like those are going fast. So create that sense of urgency, be excited. And then I want to talk about if you are a distributor and let's say you've enrolled your 6 customers, or you enroll 30 customers a month or 50 or whatever. Okay, so I got to a point when Host Post kind of was like like starting out a thing, and I was like really catching on to it. I was signing so many customers every single month and it was amazing. But I was like, my volume and like my team and everything is just kind of staying the same. And I'm working my butt off over here signing 50 distributors a month. And I don't feel like I'm really gaining anything from it. Yeah, it's volume in, but volume's going out too. And I was just like, I feel like I'm doing this all by myself. So I had this mental shift of, okay, because I was always afraid, like drop a one if you've ever felt this way. I was always afraid that if I stopped focusing on customers and started focusing on distributors, I would sign nothing. Have you ever felt that way? Drop a one if you feel that way. I felt that so hard. I was like, no, I can't stop focusing on distributor or customers and focus on distributors because I obviously can't sign distributors and I'm going to sign nothing. And then I'm really screwed. So I was talking to someone, I think it was Jade Hooper, and she was like, dude, you just got to sign distributors. You just got to go for it. And you just got to get in that mindset of I'm going to sign distributors. And I was like, okay. And so I shifted my mindset. Okay. And when I did this, and this is also like, I had this mind shift like later, like when TikTok was a thing. And I texted Cheyenne and I was like, okay, like what do I need to do on TikTok? And she's like, this is what you do. You post 3 to 4 videos a day. And I was like, well, that's not really working for me. I've been doing that, or I've been posting every day. And she's like, do 3 to 4 videos. Like you just got to keep doing it. And I was like, okay, like, hello, Kristen, this is what you preach to everyone else. Like just practice what you preach. So I get on TikTok and I'll still like do this to her like every 2 months. I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And she's like, just keep doing what you're doing. So anyways, I started posting on TikTok, and that month, you guys, I enrolled, oh my gosh, 61 distributors, and 40 of those were in my last 10 days of the month. And guess what? Here's the boom. I also signed 45 customers because I shifted my mentality on distributors, but I kept doing host to post on Facebook, and I made $500 selling samples that month. So when you say like you can do all the things, you can do all the things. I'm a mom of 2 and a wife, and I have a lot going on. Um, and I still made it happen. And since then, ever since then, I have consistently enrolled 20 to 75 distributors every single month. Okay. And you get into this like, it's exciting. It's really exciting. And your fast starts are bomb. And you're just like, yes. And you're getting all this new blood. And okay, so two, let's just say 2 distributors can bring in more volume than you can by yourself. Okay. When you sign these distributors, you have to be focused on them and training them and excited and just teaching them what you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Or who do you know that's doing this? That's working. Like, just tell them and hold their hand until they get it, and it'll click. And the month that since then, like I was building my husband's account at that time, and he went diamond in 3 months, double in 4 months, and his volume was like extra, extra, extra for double. And just his team was just on fire. And it's because I was I was focusing on distributors and teaching them how to sign customers, but I was also signing customers, and I get my fast starts, you guys. I do not miss out on fast starts. I have it written down. I'm like, this person needs 6, and then I'll move to the next, and then I'll move to the next. So knowing that and like being motivated and being organized, I will say that if you're new and you don't have a Ruby chart, at least print it out. Or if you don't have your next rank promote print it out. How do you know how many distributors you need? It's not up to your team to sign those distributors if you have a team. It's up to you. So every single time I promoted and I look at a chart, I know, okay, Kristen, like when I went from double to triple, and let me just say that the charts were so different, so it's going to sound crazy, but I needed like 75 distributors or something like that. And I looked at that chart and I was like, well, I want to do it this month. So I'm going to have to find and enroll 75 distributors. And of course, like I didn't enroll all of those, but my team helped me. But I looked at it as my promotion because nobody cares about your promotion as much as you. Yes, our team wants to help us get there and they're excited, but they don't care as much as you. And that's your paycheck. So you just have to go for it and know where you're going. So yes, I use my newbies website. I basically enroll all of my customers myself. So I just go to my newbies website and enroll them on there. But I think the biggest thing, you guys, is just being confident in signing distributors. And if you're like, well, I'm new, I don't even know what I'm doing. How am I going to teach anyone else? I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I wanted to go Ruby and I wanted that $1,000 bonus. Nothing was going to stop me. I didn't care. I would freaking, I didn't care. I guess I'll say fake it till you make it, because I feel like that's what I did. And that's why we have an upline. You know what I did when I first started? I just did what Courtney did and what Courtney did. I just literally went to their Facebook or Instagram and I did everything that they were doing in my own way. I told my story. I was excited. I copied their stories or their posts and made it my own. And I just did that and it worked. And then I taught my team to do the same thing. So you have to just freaking do it. Okay. Okay. Yes. Copy the right cat and don't be afraid to put yourself out there and sign distributors, because that is how you promote. That is how your paychecks are going to grow. And that is how you're going to like maximize our comp plan, is by signing distributors and then teaching them how to enroll customers and just working closely with them. I think that's all I got.
Oh, good. I just love you. And I love that you mentioned that too, because guys, we're not unicorns. Okay. Me and Kristen have the same moments where we're like, what is happening? Like, I'm just trying to get distributors. And every time we both remind each other, just keep going, just keep being consistent. I literally, like last week, I went to Rachel Jones. Y'all know Rachel. She's an ambassador. She's killing it. And I went to her and I was like, what is happening? This isn't working. And she was like, Cheyenne, it can't work all the time. And I was like, oh, yep, that's what I tell my team all the time, that sometimes we need to be reminded, like, you're not going to enroll every single day, right? How many of y'all nod your head if that's crazy? If you expect yourself to enroll every single day, that's crazy. Okay. You cannot enroll every single day, but you have to be consistent enough to where you're going to enroll next week, because you stayed consistent this week so that you can have enrollments next week. But if you don't stay consistent, you're not going to have any. You're guaranteeing that you're not going to enroll. So stinking good. Okay, Sarah, go ahead and introduce yourself and share all of your tips with us.
Hey you guys, I am Sarah Salinas. I'm 23 years old. I'm a student. I joined this business in, I don't know, the year 2.5 years ago. I joined the business and I have done so much. I'm a double diamond now. I've worked this business through multiple different times in my life. Whenever I was working multiple jobs, I moved across the country, I moved back home, and now I do this full time. And I've been doing it full time for so long now. And it's really changed everything for me. I joined for gas money. So if you right now have joined for gas money, know that there's a lot more in store for you, and to dream bigger every single day, dream bigger past that, because that was what I saw for my first few months in the business was gas money. And then I saw my car payment and then insurance. And then it was just like snowballing. So every day I want you to like think of what this income can do for you. And that will like feed out into your post. So mine was gas. And like Shay was talking about earlier, sharing those little things is more important than sharing the big things. So I started after seeing Kayla post on her feed, and I had been asked by multiple different people. So something I'm going to talk about is being like truly authentic to yourself. Because I joined Kayla after being asked by other people. I messaged her first and I was like, hey, can you tell me what you do? Because these girls have told me, but I don't relate to them at all. And so I asked her because we were both dancers. She lived in my city. So we related on some level. So I wrote down some things that really helped me. Like when I think about enrolling distributors, these were the 4 things that I thought about. So I wrote down to be authentic, be loud, be clear, and be consistent. And that's what I like want to go off of whenever I tell you all my tips. So the first thing, like I was saying, is being authentic to yourself. So you're going to join your upline, and you probably joined her for a reason. Like I said, my reasons with Kayla, you probably joined yours for a reason. You probably joined her because she fit your vibe, or she's like a mom and you're a mom. She's a student and you're a student. So making sure that you're sharing like who you are and you're being truly authentic to that, like intake from your upline, but also like be yourself. Share your life, share what you're doing, share your favorite colors, your favorite stores, like other things that people are going to relate to, because that's what's going to bring people to your page and keep them there. And then you get to offer that opportunity to them as well. And now they've seen you and they're like, oh, I like her because she likes the same things as I like. And now I think that she has this opportunity and I think I might go ask her questions about it. Right. So you want to be the person like that somebody thinks of, and that person is going to be like basically a little mini you. Right. I know that all of Shay's team is like super bright and happy and loves TJ Maxx and all the things. And that's because she's created that on her team. So your team is going to be like a reflection of you. So you want to share what you like. I'm not going to share something that's completely opposite of me, because then I'm going to attract different people onto my team. Right. So you share yourself, like authentically share who you are, and share it every single day, because like I said, that's going to bring people and they're going to stay and they're going to join you because they joined you for a reason, even if there's other distributors on their pages. Like I said, I was asked by multiple people before I got started in the business, but I went to my person because I connected with her. So finding distributors, the biggest thing I think is really sharing your personality and who you are, because like I said, that's going to lead them to your team. Being loud about what you're doing, where you're going, even if from day one, you should be being loud about that kind of stuff. I have had so many girls that start their business and they say, I'm doing this, and they like announce what they're doing, and people are so interested in that. If you like scroll on TikTok for a little while right now, and you'll see so many people, like my TikTok's always full of girls who want to be like influencers, girls looking for extra jobs or an extra income, whatever it is, or people sharing things already. They're already sharing like their favorite boutique. They're already sharing their favorite makeup, whatever it is. People want an opportunity like this. And so making sure that you're being loud from the start, saying, I am super pumped because I get to work online and it's going to help me with my gas money, whatever it is. And then further down the line, like right now, I've been in the business for 2.5 years. I'm still able to enroll people. And it's because I'm loud about my team is doing this. And I'm so excited for these girls because these new distributors can earn a shopping spree. They can earn this new bonus, whatever it is. People know what I'm doing in my business. So making sure that you're loud and people know what is going on. And if they were to join your team, they already know like, oh, I'm going to be able to get this shopping spree because you've talked about it so much. Because I know shopping spree was huge for me. I was like, I want to try all the products, whatever it is. And that was something that really, really brings people into your business. So being loud about what you're doing from the very start. And then from here on out, like being loud every single day and choosing to always share your story, be clear about it, be clear about what you have to offer, be clear about like what you're getting when you come into the business. Like every time I sign a distributor, I post onto my story and I say like, I'm so excited because she's eligible for this, this, and this, or I'm so excited because I'm on this team training and I'm teaching and I'm learning and I have all of these people on my team. I'm clear about what the heck my products are. I'm very confident behind them because I've taken the time to use them. I'm confident behind my team because I've taken the time to get to know them, all of those things. So being loud about where you're going, being clear about what the opportunity has to offer for other people, I think is really important. And then being consistent is like the secret sauce of everything, is being consistent in whether it's enrolling distributors or customers, being consistent overall. And it's going to be the hardest thing in this business because people aren't here to tell you like clock in at this time or do this much work or send out this many messages. And I really believe that that's the hardest part of this business, is holding yourself accountable and holding yourself to be consistent. So always choosing every day to like show up no matter what your feeling is. Cause you know, if you're working a job right now that you don't like, you still show up to it, right? Like if I was still working, I used to work these jobs that I hated, I still had to show up because I needed the money, right? So even on the bad days, still choosing to be consistent in your business and doing the things every single day and showing up and adding to your network, knowing that everything like flows together. You adding to your network brings more people into your page. You posting is showing them what you have to offer. You messaging is now getting in their ear, letting them know what that they can come to you also, because I feel like some people are scared to message each other. So you messaging them first, now it's like opening a window and to get into the door. So making sure that you're doing every single thing consistently. Don't just do part of it, do all of it, and be confident behind it, even if you have to take that confidence from someone else. Something that I have been like doing recently is TikTok. And I know y'all probably hear it all the time, TikTok, and you hear like, you're probably wondering like, or thinking like, I can't do TikTok, or I'm not comfortable with it, or whatever it was. Cause that was me for a long time. I saw Shay and I saw Kristen talking about it and enrolling a lot of people. And I was like, they can do it, but I can't. And so, but I still posted things. I was consistent with that, just the same as how I'm consistent with Instagram and Facebook. And I just made sure I just like meshed it into my 6 list. So make that part of your list, because TikTok is something so new and fresh and can put eyeballs on your content that aren't on there on Instagram. Like you don't get pushed out the way you do on TikTok, even if you feel like nobody's there. So with consistency, know that some things don't happen overnight and they're not going to be instant gratification. Nothing in this business is really instant gratification, but you showing up every single day will lead to the enrollments, will lead to the distributors and the people on your team, and doing those things every day. So looking at TikTok, I've been on it for almost a year now. It did not like give me a ton of distributors off the bat. It didn't give me a ton of distributors like the first 6 months I was using it, but this week I've enrolled more distributors than I did all of last month, and it's because I've been so consistent on there that my content is there, and when one video does well, like people start seeing your other one, so I've got that stuff to back me up. So whether that be on Instagram, if you are posting, or let's say somebody is a new follower, you've got all that content to back you up because you were consistent with posting every single day. If they go stalk you, they're going to find that. On my TikTok, one video did well, now people can stalk me and they see that I've got a lot of other stuff there. So making sure that you are always putting your opportunity out there, always staying consistent whenever it feels like it's like there's no eyeballs on you, there's nobody looking at you, it's not creating anything right now. And know that, like, trust the process and trust that the steps you're taking are getting you to where you want to go. And it might not be right now, it might be a little bit further down the line, but when you give up, it's probably going to be right before like you hit that time whenever it's your time to start enrolling people, you know. So biggest tips are being yourself, sharing over and over again, sharing consistently, being clear, being super excited. And one more thing that I wanted to share is, like, I always try to hit different color personalities. So if you have taken the color personality test, you know that there are 4 different colors. You can be red and you can be yellow or green and blue. So think about like colors of different people, because you don't want a team full of yellow people, because then they're all going to be like don't want to have a conversation, a hard conversation or anything, and want to like please each other all the time. So you want to have a mix of everybody on your team. So whenever I post, I like to like think about like, who am I targeting right now? Like, I'm targeting the reds that really want to make money by showing the bonuses. I'm targeting the yellows by showing this community right here. I'm targeting the greens by really breaking down what the heck we do, and the blues by like showing like that we were at conference having so much fun, whatever it is. Because every color personality will join for a different reason, and not everybody's going to join for money. Know that also, not everybody joins for money, crazy enough. Some people join because they want free products. Some people join because they want to make friends. They want the community. Maybe they are going through it and they need somebody to talk to, and you can be that person for them, whatever it is. So think about also when you're sharing to different types of people, because you don't want the same person on your entire team. You got to have a little bit of everybody, so that way you got a perfect mix of everybody. But I think that was the biggest tips that I had.
So stinking good. And something that I want to share about Sarah too is, I remember a couple of weeks ago, she was like, oh, I'm so frustrated with TikTok. I'm not getting anybody off TikTok. I can't enroll off TikTok. How many of y'all have had that moment where you're like, I just can't get anybody? And then I get a text from Sarah yesterday that homegirl enrolled 8 DTs in one day from where? TikTok. So that just goes to show that everything that she just shared is so true. And going back to what I just said, like everybody goes through it. You're not going to enroll every single day, but that's the power of being consistent. And I love that you also gave this example of like, you don't want to show up to your 8 to 5 every single day. You don't want to do the things at your 8 to 5 every day. Are you going to have days that you actually are excited to go to work and get ready and go? Yeah. But are you going to have days where you don't want to? 100%. But you still got to go because that's how you get a paycheck, right? So if you, it's the same thing with this business. Even though you can't get fired, you're just not going to get results if you don't show up, if you're not consistent. And so make sure that you take those tips and really, really focus on when you get off this Zoom, how to implement those into your daily routine. So good, Sarah. Okay, Caitlin, go ahead and take it away, girl.
Hey. Alrighty. Hi guys. My name is Caitlin Hunter. Nice to meet you. Soon to be Cole. I just got engaged. Mine is, so I'm so excited about that. I am a diamond, soon to be double diamond leader. I've been in this business for a little less than 2 years. Next month will be my 2-year anniversary. And I just love it. I joined Andrea Lucier, who's triple, soon to be Prez. Hey, I know she's on here. But our team is full of teachers and educators and counselors, because that's what we talk about. So being you and sharing your story. I know that you might be a little tired, like, oh my gosh, everyone said this, but share your story, share what you're talking about. So, oh my gosh, I had a light, my cat on whatever. They unplugged it, but I share about that. I work a 9 to 5. I work at 8:30 to 5:30. I'm a center director for a tutoring company. So if you're using your full-time job as an excuse, hang on, about why you can't do this business, don't, because I forget who I was talking to. All right. That's okay. I forget who I was talking to, but someone's like, no, this person's a presidential diamond and she works full-time. Get it together. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. So you can't use your full-time job as an excuse for why you can't do this business, but use it for why you need this business. So I would say find your people and share about what you're passionate about and be yourself, because that's why people want to see you. You know, I talk to so many people and I ask them to get products or be a distributor. And they're like, you know, I'm not really interested, but I love your page. Like, you're so positive and you're so encouraging. And I just love it. That's what you want, right? You're you. But you're not just It Works Caitlin. I'm not just It Works Caitlin. I'm so many other things. And that's what, especially if you're new, that's what I want you to hear. This is only a part of you. People aren't going to join people who are only, it works, it works, it works, it works. They could flip a magazine, right? They want to know you. They want to know your story. So share about your story. I like to call it like sandwich. Talk about the products. All right, then share a Bible verse that you love or what you're reading right now. Then share about being a distributor, and then share about your full-time job. Yes, brand yourself. Pick your 3 to 4 things that you talk about, and that's how people know you. Mine are like, I share about Jesus. I share about his love for you and your worth. I share about being an educator. I share about being a cat mama. You know, I share about all of those things, and that's why people know me. That's why people know me, and that's why they're interested in me. And don't be afraid to be different. When I started this, I was like, oh, I'm not this person, or I'm not this person. I'm not quiet, and I'm not cute, and I don't have that many cute outfits. I can't be like them, but that's okay, because I'm me, and that's why people wanted to join me. Like if you notice my reels or my TikToks, I don't post things that have swears, or I don't post music that talks about certain things. That's because those are my beliefs, and I don't personally like to brand myself that way. If you do, that's totally fine. But people are like, hey, I noticed that. Like, I noticed that your content's like really clean, and I like that. Be different. Don't be afraid to be different, because that's what people want to know. That's what people who you're going to attract are going to come to you. So don't be afraid to be different, because no one wants the same person. You know what I'm saying? If we're all the same person, why are they going to join you? Why would they join me versus the 10 other me's who I just told to do exactly what I do? Right? They're not. Because they're like, well, who are you? You're not different than any of them. You don't share anything different than them. So share the opportunity daily and tell it on your story. So just like Sarah was saying, tell your story daily. I always say who you are, like where you were before It Works. What were you struggling with? Where you are now and how you found the business, and where you're going. Those 3 things, write those down. So where you were before It Works, how you found it and what you're doing now and where you're going. Like I preached about getting a $15,000 bonus for months when I went to conference, and I'm like, yes, like I'm doing it. I shared about every single day. And when I posted about it, everyone's like, dude, you did it. I'm like, yeah, because I had it in my phone background for months. And I told I was talking about it constantly. So people want to know your story. They want to know where you're going. Even if you're like, well, people don't care. Just say, I'm so excited. I'm going to take my husband out for dinner. I'm so excited because of this business. I'm going to buy kayaks, and I'll brand myself with kayaks because I'm proud of those. My first diamond paycheck, I bought kayaks for my boyfriend and I. And I was so proud of that because it wasn't my full-time job. It wasn't my being a teacher or educator. It was this business. I go, my social media business bought these. How cool is that? So brand yourself. Also share and share that you're working. Share that you're working. Guys, not everyone wants to do this full time. People who work 3 jobs need to know that you also work a job. They need to know that you also are really, really busy. Because if you're like, if you're only saying, I have all the time in the world, they're going to be like, well, I don't. What am I supposed to do? But if you're saying, hey, I'm a mom, I'm really busy, or hey, I'm a college student, or hey, I work full time and I do this, you give them belief. You give them belief by saying, I'm like, I work 10 hours a day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a kitten, Ollie, he's rambunctious. I'm like, I work 10 hours a day and I work out in the morning, and my boyfriend works second shift and I can see him for 30 minutes for lunch, but I can work this business. You can too. That gives people belief. So Reels and TikToks, you're going to hear it. You need to do it. Okay. I fought it for months. I remember last year, Pam Stouter talking about it, people talking about it on Zooms. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. You need to do it. And this is how you're going to do it. Pick someone, go on Reels. Okay. Put a folder and save them. I have a folder that says to make. So when you're scrolling in the bathroom, because we all do it, save them and say to make. So pick a day and make 20. Like me, I'm surrounded by women and children all day. I don't have lashes on. I'm not doing my hair because who cares? They're adorable and they love me anyway, right? But on Fridays and Saturdays, and I hang out with my fiance, I want to look nice for date night. So an hour before we go out, I'll make 20 TikToks. I don't do the words. I don't do all of that. I just do the videos, and every night I'll add them. So you don't need to get ready and perfect and beautiful every day, because who does that? And if you do, you're amazing. And I wish I could do that. Next part, host the posts for Facebook. All right. So I love Facebook host to post. That's where I get 99% of my customers. But where do I get my distributors? Is I message them, and I'm going to put it in the chat here. Courtney Vogel sent me this. So whenever I have someone put up a host to post, and if you don't know what that is, that's if when you ask someone to put up a post for you, say, hey, I'm doing a $1,000 or Louis Vuitton giveaway. It's a free entry. Would you like one? And they say, yes. I go, perfect. Just post this to your wall and tag me. And I go, let me know once you post it. Once they post it, I send them this. Just thank you so much for posting for me. I got your name in. Hey, have you ever thought about what I do? Are you making extra money from social media? And I've gotten so many distributors from this because I didn't ask them to be a distributor. I'm just planting that seed. So every host to post I'm getting, I'm planting that seed. And they might be like, nah, that's okay. But when you're posting daily about it and they're running low on money and they need something, they're going to remember you. They're going to remember you because you planted that seed in their head. You planted that seed in your head. So do those. Get your 10 hosts to post up, get more than that, but send that message because that's what'll get people. Also, you need to be adding people. Instagram and Facebook. You need to be adding people daily. I like to use the Target analogy. Target doesn't just send the same message to the same 50 people in the store every single day. If they're selling crayons, they're gonna be like, I don't want crayons. Get out of here with the crayons, right? They don't want crayons, fine. They need new people coming in to want to get crayons. So what do? I'm a teacher. I don't know why we're talking about crayons. They advertise and they add new people. Guys, if you're like, nobody wants to join me, nobody wants to be a distributor, you need more people. You need more eyes looking at your story. So you need to be adding 100 to 300 people a day. Because if you're like, nobody's joining me, you need to add more people. They don't know your story. They don't know your story. They haven't heard it. So when Cheyenne was saying, people are going to block me, they've heard my story a million times. You're not saying your story for them. You're saying it for the new person you added last night who needs to hear it. And that's why we share our story every single day. So we need to be adding people constantly. Next part. So sharing your story, talk about it on your story every single day. Andrea and Katie and I have been making this goal. Share your story every day. I'm Caitlin. I was a teacher. It was really overwhelming. I didn't like it. I quit my job. I became a center director, but I just wanted to get my hair done. It's expensive to be blonde. I needed to do something. I just graduated college. I just paid for my first apartment and I was broke after rent. I go, after paying for all the stuff that I needed, I was completely broke. And I'm like, I didn't want to start my life like this. So I joined a social media business. I was able to get my nails done. I was able to get my hair done. And now I'm able to pay rent. Now I'm going to be able to get a truck. Matthew and I are going to get married and we're going to get a house soon. That's why I tell it. You need to say every single day on your story. And yeah, you're going to be annoyed by yourself, but that's okay. You're telling it for the person who just followed you yesterday. But I encourage you, share that every single day. And that's how you'll get people. Because I say people don't want a magazine. They can click through pictures all day long. They can flip a magazine. They can flip through Instagram. They want to know you. They want to know you and your story. Talk on your story. You think you're not like important or interesting to watch? People grocery hauls. People want to know what people got for groceries. We're nosy. We want to know people's crap, right? We want to know. So we're nosy. Give them something to talk about. Tell them your story. Also, when I message for distributors, I post reels and TikToks, but I also message for distributors. But I remember Jade saying one time, she goes, don't expect everyone to answer or sign up. You're just knocking. You're saying, hey, I'm here. How you doing? What's up? Nice to meet you. Because even if they don't answer, even if they ignore you, they're going to be like, who is this girl? I'm going to look at their story. I'm going to look at their post. Oh, I see what she's doing. That's why we message. That's why we message. It's not always to get someone on the spot. Because look at what everyone else said, how long it took them to sign up, right? 6 months, a year, 2 years. We message to just have that knock on the door. Alrighty. Next one, set a goal and share it. Say, hey, yeah, like I think someone said earlier, 7 people, I have 7 spots open on my team, and share it and post when you get one and say 3 spots left, 2 spots left. And if someone's like, I know, someone got me with this. I know you can sign up however many people you want. I go, well, I mean, I can, but I want to train you the best. I want to help you. That's why I have this many spots. So set a goal and tell people, but also set one for yourself. Last year going to conference, I'm like, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to conference, but I need like this much money. So I wrote a list of how many fast starts I needed. All right, 150, 150, 150, Florida. And I highlight it and I looked every single day and I say, all right, I need this many more fast starts to go to Florida. So you need to write it down or it's not going to happen. If you're going to say, oh, I'll get distributors, you won't. You won't. You need to write it down so you can see it. And you need to make a goal. Like I love how Kristen said she paid her mortgage. I love that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that myself now. Rent. Fast starts are for rent. Or you forget about them. Because honestly, I made a lot more in fast starts than my commissions for a while. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay, guys. You can be a Ruby making money on fast starts. Don't worry about your rank yet. Also, host a post for what you need. So if you need distributors, post. My friend Caitlin's looking for people who want to make an extra income from their phone. Host a post for that. If you're not sure about any of these things, look up in Diamond Tribe too. Like if you're like, I don't know how to do this, we have so many resources, files, videos everywhere. We can look them up. And I'm ending soon. Don't beg. And it took me a while to learn this because I'm like, I just need distributors. Come on. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'll Venmo you $15. You want to do it? And Andrew's like, Caitlin, stop. I'm like, why? She's like, because if you beg them to join, you're going to beg them to work. And you're going to beg and you're going to beg. And then they're going to do diddly squat. And you're going to start where you began. Guys, people's work ethic, if they don't want it, they don't want it. It's not for everyone. Everyone can do it. That doesn't mean it's for everyone. So offer it, but don't beg. I mean, obviously, yes, follow up, but your time is valuable. Your team is valuable. We're what, the number 1-3 team in the company? Hello, that's amazing. So many people join with someone who has no idea what they're doing. Tell people about what we have. Hey, we're the number 3 team in the company. Do you know how many people we have that are making millions of dollars that you get to train with, that you get training from? Tell people that. That's insane. That is literally amazing. People don't know that. You need to tell them that. And I'll wrap it up here. Stay true to who you are and be unique. I spent so much of this business trying to be someone else because I'm like, I'm weird and I'm loud and I get really excited about random things and no one's going to want to join me. I'm not a blogger type. I'm not super fashionable, but people love me for me, and people join me because they're like, you're fun. I like you. Like, people join me because I'm not done up all the time. People join me because I work 10 hours a day with kids and I love them, but I also want to be home with my babies sometime in the future. No babies right now, in the future, after we get married. But that's why people want to join me, because I'm only me. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because that's who's going to join you and that's who's going to want to join you. Find your tribe. So yes, relate to other people, but find your tribe.
So stinking good. I just love you so much and I love your energy. And something I want to share with y'all all is I want you to drop, what was your aha moment from tonight? Drop it in the chat. What is like the number one thing that you just heard, that you just clung on to, that was so stinking good for you? And I want you to think about the fact that there were 4 or 5 of us that spoke tonight. I can't remember the exact number, but let's say 4, and you gathered something from somebody on here, and you all didn't gather the same thing from every person. That's the same way that it's going to be when you're posting on your social media. It's not everyone's going to join you, but the right people will, because the right people are going to relate to you. Hence why Sarah joined with Kayla and not the other people. I had actually heard of It Works multiple times from different people before I joined Courtney. I never once ever considered joining until I saw Courtney's post, right? Because I related to her. I saw her story. I saw the way that she shared. She was so cute. She was out there. She was confident. She was excited. But yet some other people have probably seen Courtney's post and not joined her and joined someone else. And that's because you're going to find those people that you relate to most, and they're going to join you. And so I wanted to share that as well. But the next thing and the last thing I'm just going to do just a couple minutes on this, is just making sure that y'all understand the importance of your mindset when it comes to enrolling. Half of you are not enrolling because you don't believe that you can. Half of you are not enrolling because you believe that you're going to tell them the price and they're going to say that it's too expensive. Half of you are not enrolling because you feel like you can't lead these people once they get into the system, because you're too afraid and crippled by fear to not actually get the distributors on your team. And so if you want to promote, you have to have distributors. Why? Because all these boxes on this chart right here are for distributors to join your team. And if you don't get out there and be excited and be confident about what you're doing and talk about this business, these boxes will never get full. And no, you don't have to have people on your team for you to start, realizing like, oh my gosh, I can lead, I can do these things. But in order to help other people, you have to learn to be confident enough to get them in the system. And so if you need money, enroll a distributor. If you want to promote, enroll distributors. If you want to be excited about this business and start growing your paycheck and being able to become a better leader, enroll distributors, guys. It's so important to make sure you're doing that. And so I hope that you got value from this. If you learned something from this Zoom tonight, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat and say thank you to everybody that shared with you. And I'm so proud of you for showing up to this, because you very easily could have not logged into this Zoom because nobody told you that you had to, but you showed up because you know the value of showing up to these trainings and what you get from them. And so I'm proud of you for doing that. I'm excited for you. There's so many bonuses going on right now. I want you to drop a 2 in the chat if you're trying to win the Week Warrior that they announced on the family call. Guys, the numbers were so stinking low for the last weekend to earn that. And so you should be out there fighting for it, because it is fair game for every single person on this Zoom to get that Week Warrior and earn that $500. That's a lot of money on the table. And so go after it, because when you go after it, you're showing your team that they can too, and you're setting that example. And so I'm excited for y'all. I hope y'all have a super awesome night. And I can't wait to see those of you that start getting those distributors, because you believe in yourself and you're doing all of the things and putting them into action. Because it's one thing to listen to it and one thing to get get so hyped and fired up from these Zooms. But if you don't actually turn around and put them into action, you're not actually going to start getting the distributors from them. So have a good night, guys. Bye.